Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys have been doing well. It's Limbo here, and today we're going to be talking about Microsoft. Oh wait, no, Microsoft, the same company that thinks that we people, we gamers, cannot call AI work slop. But listen, recently, a lot of things have come out about the entire Microsoft and Activision Blizzard deal, and all of this is coming from former Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick, who sold the company for $69 billion to Microsoft. And listen, he's gone under many, and I mean many, lawsuits that follow horrible allegations under the workplace at Activision Blizzard. But for those who are wondering, right, with Bobby Kotick being sold by multiple people and groups, this entire lawsuit that's come out recently that he has spoken on and under oath is against him and AP7, who is leading the case against Bobby Kotick with investors where, they claim that Bobby Kotick rigged the sale of Activision Blizzard to keep his job, but also obtain and own $400 million in just straight benefits, and to also tried to undermine and relieve himself from the allegations of sexual harassment, toxic workplace, and more at Activision. And first off and foremost, no matter if you like Bobby Kotick or you hate Bobby Kotick, he literally went under oath and made some very remarkable claims about Activision Blizzard, the performance of that entire company, and the entire gaming industry as a whole. And he, of course, took a lot of shots at Call of Duty and the current state of the franchise, all right? So under oath, Bobby Kotick came out with guns blazing, all right? He was ready to spit out some mean-ass statements about everyone and everything. He first starts off by saying that console sales across Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo are at an all-time low. And specifically Call of Duty sales, not just Activision Blizzard, but Call of Duty sales as a franchise are off over 60% from the prior year. And the funniest part is that he is quoted to express that the investors that are suing him, all right, the people that are trying to fight him, should be happy and have extreme gratitude towards him for seeing the future of gaming and Activision's decline. I'm sorry, but that's an absolute gangster move. An absolute gangster move to pull off in a huge lawsuit like this. You're telling me, Bobby Kotick, that under oath, you say that console sales are an all-time low for every freaking company, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox, but to also add on top of that, Call of Duty sales are off over 60% from the prior year, and then you tell people that are suing you that they should be happy and have extreme gratitude to you? Oh my god, what an absolute gangster move. But Bobby Kotick does not stop there, ladies and gentlemen. Bobby Kotick then spits out a crazy statistic about Activision Blizzard and the entire company's performance, which most likely includes sales, player retention, microtransactions, and more. Bobby Kotick, under oath, like an absolute beast, says that Activision Blizzard, as an entire company, since 2022, had performed below their long-term plan goals, and that the entire company missed nearly all of their ambitious targets that they set for themselves. This was apparently known to all of the investors and board members when the entire Activision Microsoft sale was made, which is kind of shocking, okay? It's just like, holy schmookums, because the entirety of Activision Blizzard, which includes Battle.net, which is their basically Steam version app, Call of Duty, Hearthstone, Diablo 4, Overwatch, and more. All of those games, all of those services, all of those departments were all underperforming and failing at their big long-term goals for years, and most likely still even after the Microsoft purchase. I think people need to understand that a big company like Activision Blizzard has to be ran so badly for all of its endeavors that it goes into to fail everywhere. That is insane, man. I don't know what the employees were doing, but that's literally goals that everybody should be wanting to achieve in order for a bonus, in order for a promotion, in order to strive for something. And they all failed at it for the last 4 to 5 years now, which is crazy. I think in general, this is horrible news for fans of those games that I mentioned before, because it shows that any new games, any updates, any expansions, and more, the sole reason that they were even developed and released was for money and to make back losses that they took or tried to attempt to reach that a goal that they wanted to achieve, right? I just don't know how to say it in a nicer way. That's just the honest truth, all right? But it continues to get worse from there. When you start to realize that the cost to make big AAA games like Call of Duty every year, or to keep live service games like Overwatch 2 alive, you realize how much money that these big companies like Activision Blizzard are actually losing when their games fail or when they don't reach their goals. Since Modern Warfare 2019, Call of Duty games on average cost around $685 million just to produce and develop. And that does not include marketing, advertising, and also keeping the game alive for one full year, which we all know for those three things that I just mentioned, Activision and the dev teams overspend on every single year. In my opinion, the entire Bobby Kotick lawsuit and the statements that he has made while under oath and being a former CEO of one of the biggest gaming companies in the entire world, it clearly shows how gaming is done for the future, and also shows how Microsoft literally got sold a Trojan horse that is only going to get worse and worse every year when they own it. If an entire company as big as Activision Blizzard, with big games like Call of Duty, Hearthstone, and Diablo, can't even reach their big goals and grow, it clearly shows that the formula AAA games and companies have built and invested into over the last few years is no longer working, and it hasn't been working for a few years now already. If Activision as a company wants to be good again, and especially under Microsoft after their $69 billion purchase, they need to revamp and change everything about what they're doing for all of their games. Gaming is done for if the big companies can't even perform well enough anymore, and also cannot continue to evolve and get better. Call of Duty has literally been the same for years now, and the fatigue is being felt and seen with the player counts for Black Ops 7 and Call of Duty HQ, which includes Black Ops 6 and Warzone. Overwatch 2 hasn't been relevant or exciting for years as well, and it's a clear example of why 99.9% of live service games die out. In my opinion, Microsoft got scammed, and now it's up to them to figure out what the hell to do with Activision and where to go with all of the games and all the teams. But imagine this, guys. All of these big gaming companies like Activision Blizzard and EA and Ubisoft are being ran to the ground like this on a year-to-year daily routine like it's a phase routine, man. What do you guys think, as gamers, the investors are going to do? I'll tell you what will happen, all right? Gaming will die out, and investors will leave. And in my honest opinion, this might be a hot take, that doesn't sound too bad, because in my opinion, when investors came in, when all this money came in, and when games started to get budgeted and developed for over $100 million, $200 million, now $500 million, that's when gaming got ruined. But either way, Activision is failing, Microsoft got scammed for $69 billion, and the gaming industry continues to be manipulated by losers who don't know us gamers, and the entire industry as well. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this entire Bobby Kotick situation, because I'll tell you what, it's bad. It is really bad, because not only Bobby Kotick is a bad guy, but it also shows how multiple gaming companies are going to the ground because nobody knows how to run them. You know what I'm saying? And I think at this point, investors hopefully leave. Gaming will get smaller in the sense that, hey, nobody's putting in $685 million to develop a video game. And if they do, it better be fucking good. If it's not, they're going to lose out on so much money. But either way, this is insane news. I'm excited to hear what happens next. But all in all, that's going to be it for the video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.